So NFT talk is everywhere, and quite frankly, I did not know what this was about 3 weeks ago. But I went through and did a crazy research project, even made an NFT myself. So let me tell you what I learned, and most importantly, let's explain what an NFT actually is. So my name is John Rettinger. I've been making videos in the tech space for the better part of now 12 years with about 1.58 million subscribers. And during that time, I have made a lot of mistakes when it comes to finances, and I've learned a lot. And I want to help teach you to better use your money and help it work for you, regardless whether or not you've got $5 or $100 or even $100,000 available. Doesn't matter what you have, you can always make it work for you. All right, so on to NFTs. Like, we've heard about him. Jack Dorsey's selling his first one. Logan Paul sold his. 9cat got sold for millions. People sold one for $69 million. This term is being used everywhere, and like I said in the intro, honestly, I had no idea what it meant. So first, like, what is an NFT? It stands for non-fungible tokens. They act as non-duplicatable digital certificates of ownership for any assigned digital asset. Doesn't matter what it is, a picture, music, a video, anything digital. Think of it kind of like a smart contract that is put together using little bits of open source code that anyone who wants to can find from platforms like GitHub, for example, and use to secure whatever that digital item is. And once that code is written, it is then minted permanently and published into a token. And it's usually called, this is kind of technical, ERC 721. You don't have to know that, but I just wanted to feel fancy for my research project of saying it out loud. And it's written on a blockchain, usually something like Ethereum. And some popular forms of NFTs, like I said, include things like pictures, GIFs, videos, and obviously tweets, but really anything. Any digital asset that a creator wants to make unique can become an NFT. So thinking beyond those things like articles or even event tickets in the future. So once an NFT is purchased, the owner has the digital rights to resell, distribute, or even license that digital asset however they want to do. They own it, it's theirs, they can pick and choose what they want to do. One caveat, that the creator of that NFT can control how that code gets used. So they could set up limitations like, I don't want that to be on a TV, I don't want you to resell it. Or whenever it does get resold, I get whatever X percentages of that back for however many times it gets sold. There's flexibility there for what the original creator can do. So let's go back to like Jack Dorsey's example of selling his very first tweet. Like, I was confused, like how can anybody like sell a tweet? It's on Twitter, you can see it. So for example, that tweet will still always live on Twitter for anybody to see. It's got its own URL and you can click on it and go to it. But whoever decides to buy Jack Dorsey's tweet is buying, and I'm quoting here, bragging rights of owning that digital asset. And it might sound ridiculous, it might make you smirk, but still, this is something that does have value. It may continue to have value going forward. Right now, we just might not understand the initial value of the platform. So you're gonna get bragging rights of owning that asset, and you're also gonna have sort of that NFT code that has a signature from its creator that's going to authenticate the token on any server, browser, or platform, which, this is important, makes it verifiable and decentralized. So that way, no entity responsible for hosting an NFT, for example, if the NFT is created of like a concert ticket, for example, that ticket does not have to be verified through a ticket selling platform like Ticketmaster. It can be verified through the blockchain. So you can start to see how things like selling tweets can eventually sort of lend their way to sort of really practical, everyday applications. The question that I had as I went through this research was, how does this like differ from like regular like crypto? So this brings us back to fungible tokens. Those essentially consist of cryptocurrencies like we're used to. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and sort of traditional currencies like US dollar or the euro. NFTs are unique assets that don't have a one-to-one value, hence the like non-fungible part there, with any other NFTs, meaning that while $1 is always going to equal $1, one NFT is definitely not going to equal another NFT. The value of them are always going to be unique to that one particular NFT. The value the NFT has is based on how well it's received from the item and by people who are willing to buy it, usually using cryptocurrencies, again, like Ethereum. So if that item is like the very first tweet, it's desirable, its value could certainly go up. If more people are willing to pay for it, then the value will rise, right? It's supply and demand curve. As more people want it, the price is going to increase. But go the other way too. Question that I had was like, why on earth would somebody want to buy one, especially this early on? No one really knows how that supply and demand curve are going to look. Well, the answer is that NFTs can be a financial investment, right? It can be a sentimental purchase, a collectible item, or a way for the buyer to feel more connected to the NFT's creator, like an artist or a particular brand. To kind of think of it like people collect, Pokemon cards, basketball cards, in my case, sneakers, or to go old school, even them Beanie Babies. So I want to take this a step further from really knowing nothing about NFTs to making one. And if you want to know more about the process of making an NFT, I can walk you guys through it. But what I did was I listed my very first video that I ever created on YouTube that launched my career, went up about 12 years ago. I made that its very own NFT and listed it for sale on a marketplace to experience what it was like to create an NFT. And what surprised me about the whole process was like there's literally a button that says click asset and then upload. In this case, it was my video, but it could have been a picture, a tweet, whatever. And that was it. It was just surprising how simple that process was to create the NFT. And I thought this was gonna be like a week-long thing. It took me about 20 minutes to go ahead and make one that's available. You can see it right here. It's my video is for sale, and somebody would own the rights to that video. Now, I'm not expecting anybody to actually buy it. Being able to see what the process was like made me appreciate NFTs. And I guess it's like owning any asset that could be appreciating, but also can be depreciating. You buy a signed basketball, it could make money, it could lose money. You are taking a risk, but you have some sort of value you've attributed to that thing. And digital goods are just the next frontier of that. And NFTs are at the forefront of it. I like the fact that it's decentralized, it's blockchain verifiable. There's a lot of cool things about it. And I think it's easy to scoff at people selling pictures or GIFs or even videos at this really early stages of NFTs in a lot of ways because we don't understand and we don't yet know what these are going to be. But before you get to a platform that's established and accepted, you always have to go through these early phases of things. And Bitcoin right now, as this filming, is trading at almost $58,000. You go back 10 years ago and people were laughing at Bitcoin, and now it's certainly no joke. And I think we're gonna see the same things with NFTs over the next decade. So I was interested in what NFTs were. Hopefully that helped explain them to you guys. And if you do wanna see a video again of how I went through and made one, I'm happy to make that for you guys as well. But until then, happy bidding if you decide to make an NFT. But if you got something that you wanna make or sell, now I have another platform to get in front of a lot of people.